Hello, everyone. Break by break, we're back again. I think that was this morning. That was this morning. Yeah,
Listen, if y'all missed a great conversation, it'll be out tomorrow. Um, Brick by brick, we broke down what America looked like if black and brown people was to actually have a mass exodus. So if you missed that conversation, make sure that you check in tomorrow. It will be available at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So don't forget to check in. But David, today we have a good conversation for him, don't we?
we definitely do.
So I think we have, for the first time, opposing opinions on something. I will frame it like this. So you are of belief that owning a home in this market or any market isn't what people crack it up to be. Did I get your words right, or am I screwing it up?
You got my words correct.
Tell us about it. Why do you think that way?
The way the market is going these days, home prices are being, or I should say, the younger generation is being priced out of homes for obvious reasons. Okay. But the ones that are able to afford a home, after they get their home, is eventually it's going to be hard for them to keep. It depends on how they buy their home. So let me get to the nuts and bolts of it. You and I was having a conversation earlier, and I was saying, I was just learning about a lot of people that's buying new homes, new builds. Let's say new builds. I'm hearing a lot of people just having problems with their new builds. Not the new build itself, but the actual mortgage payment. And see what's going on after you buy your new build in the new built community, what people are not realizing is not only are you buying the home, you have a second mortgage on the land. And so when you when you purchase the home and you have your mortgage, let me change that. When you think you're purchasing the home and you get this mortgage, the first year to year and a half of your mortgage is on the land. So if you're being charged $60,000 on the land and your mortgage is around $1,200, $1,400, that has nothing to do with the cost of the house. That $1,200 to $1,400 is for the land. If your mortgage is $1,200 to $1,400 a month for the first year, year and a half, and again, that that is pretty much on a new build, on a construction home. Okay, you don't own the land. Okay, someone else owns the land, and and they're building a house on a piece of property for you, along or a new neighborhood. Okay, that mortgage is $1,200 to $1,400. But people's not realizing that $1,200 to $1,400 mortgage is not for the house yet. That $1,200 to $1,400 for the first year, year and a half is for the land. Then after that, then after that,
So
you get um the house, the house. What do you call it? You get the mortgage for the house. So now, if you have three
okay,
hundred and fifty to $400,000 house, your mortgage just went up two and a half, if not three times. So that 1,200, $1,400 mortgage is going up to about 35, 4,000, $4,200.
wow. So if y'all just tuned in, 'cause I see we have some people that came in, and I appreciate y'all being with us. It's Terrell, and we on brick by brick, right? Building up the community brick by brick, taking it step by step, right? So what we're talking about is it actually worth it to buy a new home in this economy right now. And David is pretty much saying that he doesn't believe that it's 100% worth it to be able to buy the new build, because in the beginning stages of it, then you have to actually pay for the land, and many people don't even realize that that's why you're spending so much money on there. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Remember, you're not paying the land off. Your mortgage just starts paying on the land for the first year and a half. And then the
Mm,
cost of the actual built, the home itself, gets added to the land. Now you have your 30-year mortgage.
wow. Many people don't even realize that, right? So if you bought a home and you look at the amortization schedule, right? That's that paper where what is it, 360 payments. Many people don't look at it because it just look like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. What it breaks down is how much you actually paying your mortgage and what's actually going to the home, from payment number one all the way to payment number 360, which is normally 330 years in mortgage, right? And so I didn't even know that's new information to me, right? That you're actually saying on new builds, because back in 2018, my wife and I, we had a new build, and I didn't realize that we actually was paying for the land, which will actually make sense because I remember the sellers saying at that point that hey, the land itself, because you guys got a double plot or because you got a corner plot, then this is how much you're actually paying for the land. And because we was newbies, we just kind of like threw it to the side and didn't pay it attention. But but that's an interesting fact right there, that any type of way that I mean, you're literally paying for everything from the nitty to the gritty. That's interesting.
Absolutely. And see, back then, they was required to tell you.
Hmm.
But now is a whole new market. And realtors are not required to tell you.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, realtors are nothing but salesmen. That's all they are. They're salesmen. It's like going to here you go, look at it this way. You go to a car lot, you see a nice vehicle. You want that vehicle.
Hmm.
That salesman know it has a bad engine. Do you think that if it's on his lot and he's about to make top commission on that vehicle, do you think that salesman is really going to tell you?
Oh, so you comparing a realtor to a sleazy salesman at a car lot? That what you're saying? A used car lot? Oh man, you about to piss a lot of people off tonight, man. What's
But
going
are they
on?
not salesmen?
That's what you're doing? Okay.
Realtors are nothing but salesmen
Okay.
or and saleswomen.
So
Okay. Now I'm not saying all realtors are like that,
mhm.
but you have your ones out there that
So
they is all about them. Is all about why would I say anything? Because at the end of the day, you really cannot be mad at the realtor because whenever you purchase anything in life, if you spending your money, you need to do 100% of your due diligence. You have to do your due diligence. If you don't do your due diligence, shame on you.
I would say this: even though you had those hidden costs, right, with the land, the taxes, the insurance, and the what else go in there? There were insurance, taxes, the land, and the
HOA, HOH,
HOA, yeah, HOA, and also the it'll come to me. I can't think of it right now. Called a mind blank. But I can say this. What is the what is what can you do besides that, right? Rent. Have you seen the rental prices of properties 5 years ago? 10 years ago? Have you seen where they are? Do you see how rental prices go up year after year? In literally month after month for most people, because of course, as people move out, then new people that's moving in, their rent, person that's moving in, they normally have a higher rent total. And so I made a video about this a couple of weeks ago where I say to be able to rent is like being in financial prison forever, right? Because you will never be able to build any kind of equity, and you will never be able to own the property. And so it only makes sense to be able to buy. And if you look at today's economy, right, because you talk about today's economy, look at what happened a few years ago. The big institutions, they bought up all of the houses that was on the market, right? So yes, the housing market did go through a boom a couple years ago where everybody was selling. And then what you've seen is you've seen a lot of large companies that was going through neighborhoods and literally buying homes sight unseen, literally you would get an offer letter and they were like, we're ready to buy your home. And in that situation there, what ended up happening was that those homes was never ever put back on the market to be sold for a new family that's maybe getting out of college, or a family that was moving out of their parents' house, and they got the girl and the two kids, and that's a new starter home. Those homes are never put back on the market. Those homes was sent out to be on the rental market only, so they can be able to always control the price of rentals. You got to be able to think about it. Most homes out here in today's economy, 2025, those are all controlled by large institutions that had the power of how much money you can actually keep in your pocket.
It's by design.
Of course.
It's about keeping people. It's by design. It's about keeping people in bondage.
Yeah.
If you keep the people in bondage, think about a rent. I live in upstate New York.
Okay.
The average rent up here is running about 1,800.
For what? For what is that? A two
A three
bedroom, three
bedroom,
bedroom?
one bathroom.
You
Two
said two
bedroom,
bedroom.
one bathroom. Two bedroom, one bathroom, about 1,800.
That sounds about what Central and South Florida is. About two
Okay.
thousand dollars for that price. Yes.
If you get lucky, you might get it for 14, 1,500. But and I only know that because I looked at a couple of properties myself and rent because I wanted to see what people was charging for rent. And a couple of properties that I just happened to call on to inquire, they're talking 17, 18, and you talk about two bedrooms, one bathroom. Your average mortgage is about 2,200. So the question is, unless you're making an abundance amount of money, you don't have extra, or you don't have liquid assets or liquid money to be able to save. You don't have money to save. You don't have that extra savings that you would normally do if you owned a house.
David, you're a homeowner, aren't you?
I am.
All right. So am I. Right. And I can literally tell you that neither one of us have been in the rental market for quite a while. Right. But for poops and giggles, man, I went into the rental market with my wife about a month or so ago, and we wanted to see what the qualifications were. Do you realize that to be able to rent out any apartment around South Florida, that you have to make 3 times the amount of the monthly rent? 3 times, which means that if the monthly rent total for that 2 bedroom, one bathroom is $2,000, they're saying that you have to make at least $6,000 a month, which is pretty much $3,000.
$72,000 a year. So you have to
And
make 72,000. Hold on, let me finish. And not only do you have to make $72,000 a year, if your credit is not right, they go jack up your rent a little bit more.
that's right.
If you have a pet, that's another $125 a month.
Hmm.
And now they want to know how many people is living in the house.
Hmm.
Because if you get one number, but it's more, they're going to jack your rent up a little bit more.
That's right.
I'm like,
That's
wait a
right.
minute, hold on. I can understand the pet situation because pets, they do what they do. If they don't feel like going outside or whatever in the corner, they mess up your house. They can.
Hmm.
But if I'm renting a house, it shouldn't be your business on how many people I have living in my house. Because I have a buddy right now renting, and he just renewed his lease, and we just happened to be talking about it, and he said, yeah, I have to tell the landlord every year that it's still just me and my wife. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, because it's me and my wife, I think if it's one person, it's about $75 cheaper. But because it's my wife and I said, okay, how many bedrooms do you have in the house? He has a 2 bedroom house, 1.5 bathroom. I said, so you have a 2 bedroom house, 1.5 bathroom. Because you're married, you have two people. Your rent is $75 more. That's crazy.
And where's he at? He's in New York.
He's up here.
You know who I blame for the boom down here in South Florida or in Central Florida? I blame y'all New Yorkers. Y'all mess it all up. New Yorkers mess it up for South Floridians. Yes, I am saying it. I am pointing a finger at you guys, right? Because what happened is that you got to think about this, man. Yes, today, you got your favorite guy, Elon Musk, that come on TV and say everybody needs to come back to the office, right? But uh during the mass migration, man, from everybody from the Northeast all the way down to South Florida, everybody was working at home. Everyone. And so that New York income that was far superior than the South Florida income, it was having people, man, that was coming down here, and they was buying it, and they didn't care about the price of where rentals was. They didn't care about the homeowners price, the house prices. They didn't care about any of those things, right? And I was in the banking sector at the time, so I was able to see all of the down payments. I was able to see the closing costs. Like literally at one point, probably for about a good year, year and a half, all I did, um, all I did is close on houses. So yeah, it got pretty deep at a point. So yeah.
Well, New York is broken up into two parts, and it's weird how this state is. Downstate, downstate versus upstate.
Okay.
Downstate is where Florida got most of their people buying up
Okay.
homes
Okay.
because you can get in downstate New York a shack, a studio. I don't want to say shack. Let's say a studio, no bedroom, just a studio. And if it does have a bedroom, matter of fact, no, not even a bedroom, but it's just a studio apartment. The only door in the apartment is the bathroom. Okay,
Hmm.
that there might run you 250,000
Wow.
in New York City.
Okay.
Okay, so now they see Florida, man, they get a whole house for 300. That's a no brainer.
Hmm.
Versus upstate New York, we're used to having whole houses, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom and a half, 300,000. But now, like you said, New York, downstate New York has also come upstate New York and capitalized on our low housing market as well, like they did Florida.
Oh. Oh. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's broken up.
Okay.
So now our housing market has went up dramatically because the value of people's homes has went up. My house went up 2.5 times since COVID.
Wow. And that was only 5 years
Okay,
ago.
absolutely, 2.5 times. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
take that
Okay.
because you have people from New York City that's used to living no bedroom, just a closed door bathroom. They can come up here and get a whole house for the same amount of money,
Okay.
or they can come up here and rent. You figure the average rent downstate New York might be 4,000, $4,500 a month. That's probably
Okay.
the average. I'm not sure, so don't quote. So if I am wrong, don't quote me on that.
All
But
right.
I know it's up there. It's in the thousands.
I would say this, right? You mentioned something that people don't have disposable income to actually save for that down payment. And so I'm going to say, right, because I see it a lot, especially here in South Florida, where, you have people from different cultures and different countries and different islands. I could tell y'all in this day and age, it's probably wise to move in with your loved ones. It's probably wise for kids to move in with their parents, parents to move in with their kids, siblings to be able to move in together, pool your money together, and actually save up enough money so you can actually buy. Because it truly, and this is not just my thought, it is truly going to get to a point where homes are so expensive that most people won't be able to buy it. Because of course we already know that there is no middle class anymore. And so there is literally only the people who has the money, or there are the people who's going to be government dependent or for a long period of time. And so I can be able to say that my solution for this and what we're going through is literally like make sure that you find any type of way to save and cut all of your expenses down, even if you have to be able to move in with your loved ones for a little while. And y'all save, y'all open a business, and you all put the money together, and make it happen. Look, I had to turn around for a minute, man. I thought a dog was going to come and attack me. Right. But that's my suggestion right there for anybody. Any suggestions that you have for people to be able to, actually get their house, even though it comes with the cost of the land and it comes with the cost of everything else.
You know what I see a lot of people do that's not in our neighborhood
Mm,
is they are buying houses,
hmm
but they're buying big houses. But it might be two or three families living in that house. Okay, it might have three bathrooms.
Hold on, call
And
them out, man. We not bashful in this. Call them out. What are the people? What is the profile of the people that's actually moving here? Because I can tell you, in South Florida, man, it's the Hispanics, is the Asians, is
absolutely,
yeah, it's everybody but the Aboriginal black people, man. So I can tell you that.
absolutely.
Okay.
So I mean, if we just did that, if we just did that, pool our money together, bought a house, everybody have their own little section, everybody have their bathroom. Okay, you, your wife, and your child, you have a house. I mean, you have that. Those are your rooms. Me and my wife and my child, we got our rooms. And if you have a third husband, wife, and a child, that's their rooms. You know, a six. I mean, listen, you can literally buy a mansion if you get
Yeah.
three people together. You can go into the nicest suburb,
Yeah.
buy a mansion,
And everybody can pool together and buy groceries that everybody eat dinner. Everybody
have
have
a main
lunch.
area. Yes, absolutely. But we as
Hold
people of
on.
color, we're not going to do that.
But let me paint the picture, right? Let me paint the picture. You can even, for the amount of money that everybody is saving, you can hire somebody to clean up the house once a week. To make sure that everything is nice and tidy. You can buy a nice SUV that everybody can fit all in one time, and everybody go to work at different times. So like literally, that has so many advantages to be able to do that. And yes, you say that as black folks we don't do it, but I think that time is over, man. Like, I'm trying to break a lot of these chains. My wife listened to this song, "Break Every Chain," right? If she's on, or somebody listen, y'all tell me who's singing that song, right? But that's what we have to do. We have to be able to break these chains, and we actually have to change the way that we have been doing things for literally hundreds of years, if not decades.
Let me say this: I don't want to ever see anyone lose their business. I don't want to ever see anyone go hungry.
Hmm
But Nebraska's going broke.
mm
A lot of land is going to be for sold. I mean, for sale.
mm.
See, I'm going with this.
Nebraska, huh?
Buy yourself a couple acres.
Hmm
You and some family members build a nice size house.
hmm
Save some money. Build another house.
hmm
Save some money. Build
hmm
another house. Three
Mm.
families. Three families.
All on the
Three
same land.
houses on two piece 2 acres of land.
And 2 acres is a lot.
2 acres is a lot.
Yeah. Wow. 'Cause I think
Think
1 acre
about it.
is like 3 football fields. Am I correct? Somebody in
Hmm.
chat? Yeah. Yes. Okay.
So, but again, we don't want to live together. I can't live with people.
Yes.
Now I'm good.
Yes.
And this is why we're going to stay in this same cycle. We have to find a way of breaking this cycle.
Listen,
Come
I think
together, work together, be together.
I think
Brick
Tasha
by
Cobbs
brick,
is the
let's
song
build
that say,
together.
yes, I think Tasha Cobbs is the one that sing that song, "Break Every Chain," man. And I ain't mean to
Yep,
cut
break
you off,
every
but I just
chain.
said,
Yes,
yeah,
Tasha, you're
correct.
right.
Yes, we have to be able to break it, and I think that we, at this moment, at this time, we actually had the power to be able to do it. We do, David. We do. We have the power to be able to actually make the change for the future? Do you think that we could be able to make it? Do you truly feel that we can be able to make this change? This generation, this time, 2025. Do you think Black people can be able to make this happen?
I do. I do. All we gotta do is put our heads together because anything that we put our mind to, anything we put our mind to, we excel in. Everything. You name one thing that we did not put our mind to as a black people that we did not excel in. Doggone it, think about it. The only reason the space shuttle was able to go up in the air is because three black women figured out the formula.
Mm, that's true. That is
I
true.
mean, correct me if I'm right or wrong, sir.
You're right. You're absolutely
Okay,
right. And I
okay.
think it was the name of the movie. Yes, that they had the movie last year or a couple years ago that it was showing that the lady who actually came up with the formula wasn't even allowed in the room. But yes,
Was not even
nevertheless,
allowed in the room.
yes,
So
yes,
she,
yes.
matter of fact, she was not even allowed to use the bathroom in that section.
Yes, Hidden Figures. That was the name of the movie, Hidden Figures,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that we can be able to make it. I think that we can really be able to do it. I know we have went quite long on our calls because we only like keeping y'all for 30 minutes here. So I just want to be able to end this call by saying this. You started off the conversation by saying, "Hey, on new bills, you're paying for the land and you don't realize it." But I think that you actually gave a solution to the problem that you were talking about in the beginning. The solution is just buy the land
Buy the
and
land.
build a little build on the house, three families stay in there, build another house, and then build another house. And then before you know it, you have a plot of land with three houses that's all paid for. And now you can literally work and your children can be able to get raised up with no debt and a whole bunch of money passed down to them. And that's how we can be able to change things up. I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it, brother. I love it.
As always, you have a wonderful day. Blessings. And always remember, brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Later, y'all.